Hey military fans, welcome to Global Military Intelligence Scan. I'm your military observer, Zhinyan. Today I'm bringing you some explosive updates. Ukrainian drones strike 40 kilometers behind Russian lines. Anti-tank mines halt Russian advance. Russian heavy armored units near collapse. Even the recapture of Kursk has to be pushed to next year. North Korean pilots arrive in Russia. Pyongyang obtains tactical nuclear weapons. Europe prepares to send troops. Russia pressures China to enter the scene. Turkey cuts supply to Putin. Russian missiles and drones become purely decorative. The once mighty Russian steel tide is getting wrecked in Ukraine. Ukrainian forces are bringing the heat with a crazy combo of drones, rocket artillery, and smart anti-tank mines, totally shutting down Russian tank advances. These aren't your grandpa's landmines either. They're precise AF and don't leave nasty surprises after the war. The numbers are insane. In just 48 hours, Ukraine claims they took out 17 tanks, 54 armored vehicles, 85 artillery pieces, 2 rocket launchers, 183 military trucks. Russian forces are literally collapsing faster than the speed of light. Ukraine just pulled off 2 absolutely gorgeous breakthroughs on the Kursk front. The French Hammer ASM guided bombs are straight up devastating. One hit was all it took to send Russian forces running for the hills. Even their blocking units had to fall back 20-30 kilometers. Talk about a total defensive collapse. And let me tell you about the American hardware popping off. M2 Bradley going wild with that 25mm cannon, just lighting up Russian positions. M101 Abrams tanks literally demolishing 2 Russian fortifications, totally paving the way for Ukraine's 47th Brigade to capture enemy troops. Here's the tea. Remember when Russia was all confident about retaking Kursk by September 30th? Well, that plan went straight down the drain. Even their October 31st dreams turned into straight-up fairy tales. Why y'all won't believe this tea? The notorious Russian 155th Brigade, you know, the ones with all those war crimes accusations. They just got completely wrecked on October 16th. Ukrainian forces said bye-bye in one devastating sweep. The few survivors, they're literally scrambling around like they lost all their teeth. Talk about karma coming through. Satellite images just dropped showing Russia's 22nd base and Kyle, their TED tank reserves are basically gone. We're talking empty parking lots where all those tanks used to be. Russia's armor situation is giving running on empty vibes and I am living for it. Their entire armored force is literally on life support at this point. Ukraine's FIV drones are literally playing supply line police up to 40 kilometers behind Russian front lines. Like, who needs roads when you've got eyes in the sky? Russia's having their worst supply crisis ever and I'm here to spill all the tea. Their situation is giving major everything falling apart vibes. Tanks running on empty. Artillery units running out of boom boom. Their big guns getting owned by Ukraine's superior range. And here's the real tea. If Russia can't fix their supply situation in the next week, we're talking total domino effect. The whole front could come crashing down faster than my ex's excuses. Prediction time, November's going to be rough for Russian forces. They're already on the ropes. Feast your eyes on this. Introducing the Russian military's cutting-edge 72 tank camouflage. This is hands down the most hilarious battlefield fashion statement of the year. Brace yourselves, fellas, and try not to laugh. This monstrosity is decked out in a sickly green camouflage net, looking like a camouflage turtle slowly crawling on the ground. Ukrainian troops spotting this bad boy will probably wonder if they stumbled onto the wrong movie set. Take a gander at the entire hull. You can't even tell it's a tank. It's just a listless, dejected polar bear. The Russian military's latest move is a walking, talking joke. Where's the intimidating armored onslaught now? While we were all laughing at those green turtle tanks, Putin was making some wild moves. Apparently, Nank pilots were secretly brought to Vladivostok in September, before those ground troops showed up in October. After training, they'll be flying Russian jets in Ukraine. First time Nank pilots fighting abroad since Vietnam. The numbers are insane. 900 Nank combat aircraft in service. 2,000 active pilots, 3,000 to 4,000 retired pilots on standby. When it comes to training pilots, any country looking to cultivate a qualified aviator needs a minimum of 2 to 3 years of intensive training. There's just no way around it. North Korea has been pinching pennies and tightening belts for years to build up their aerial force. Now, even though the North Korean Air Force's main fleet consists of second-generation fighter jets and their pilots haven't flown anything third-gen, make no mistake, these seasoned aviators are the real deal. Word on the street is that these pilots have a wealth of flying experience under their belts. Give them a bit of training and they'll be rocking those Russian Su-27s in no time. Apparently, these Nank pilots are getting their hands on some crazy high-tech Su-35s and Su-30SEMs. And get this, word on the street is they're prepping for some serious beef with South Korea and Japan. But don't worry fam, they're staying far away from the Russia-Ukraine situation. Why? Because get this, they literally can't even understand each other. Like, imagine being in a dogfight where you need to understand your buddy ASAP. The language barrier is real, bestie. These pilots need split-second communication, and they're out here playing charades in the sky. According to a video analysis by Ukrainian resistance group Astra, the North Korean military has quietly snuck into Russia's Primorsky Krai and set up shop at military base 44980. That's right, they're all up in the 127th Motor Rifle Division's territory in Sergeyevka. But wait, there's more. Ukrainian military intelligence chief Budanov recently spilled the beans on why North Korea is sending troops to Russia in the first place. Apparently, Russia has been slipping North Korea some low-yield tactical nukes and submarine missile launch technology on the down low. As the evidence of North Korea's support for Russia piles up, the West is getting restless. Lithuania's foreign minister straight up issued a warning. Europe is gearing up to send troops to back Ukraine. South Korea summoned the Russian ambassador and is sending a special team to the front lines in Ukraine to monitor the North Korean troops and interrogate prisoners. South Korean officials are straight up saying they'll provide offensive weapons and technical personnel to support Ukraine. It's looking like the North and South Korean militaries might indirectly clash on the Ukrainian battlefield for the first time. France is making a heavyweight move, announcing they'll supply Ukraine with 12 more Caesar self-propelled howitzers. And where's the money coming from? The 300 million euros in interest from Russia's frozen assets. The EU has been provoked into action, approving a whopping 35 billion euro aid package with 518 votes to 56. Even some far-right MEPs are starting to vote in favor. The UK didn't hesitate to dish out $3 billion either. US Defense Secretary Austin finally couldn't sit still any longer and admitted that North Korean troops have already arrived in Russia. Ukrainian intelligence chief Budanov warned that the first batch of North Korean troops will soon be seen in Kursk. With North Korea joining the fray and the West going crazy with countermeasures, Ukraine's combat power is skyrocketing. Russia knows that the trouble North Korea brings outweighs the benefits, so why are they still doing this? The bombshell revelation is here. Russia's moves aren't just about finding help to fight the war. With North Korea cozying up to Russia, China is definitely not happy. South Korea is immediately teaming up with Japan and the US. Isn't this the formation of the rumored Asian NATO? Who's most afraid of the Asian NATO? Of course, it's China. It's clear that Russia's maneuvering of this mini NATO isn't just to make the US, Japan, and South Korea uncomfortable. It's to force China's hand. Turkey just did a 180 on Russia, and shit's about to get real in the Ukraine war. Turkey, Russia's former BF, signed a memo with Ukraine for defense goods and engineering services. We're talking military cooperation on a strategic level. Putin must be tossing and turning all night. That's what happens when you got bad blood with the Turks. Plus, Turkey ain't no country to mess with now. They control the gateway to the Black Sea, and their air force is straight up fire with over 200 V-16 fighter jets. Putin's probably sweating bullets. But wait, there's more. Turkey pulled a fast one on Russia and cut off their supplies on the down low. Meanwhile, Erdogan and Putin are all smiles at the BRICS summit. In August, the US sent a tough cookie from the Commerce Department, Axelrod, to Turkey. This guy's got the power to make or break US export control. After some intense talks, he dropped the bomb. Turkey, either you cut off military with Russia or get ready for sanctions. The impact of this warning, just look at the numbers. Last December, Turkey was sending $38 million worth of goods to Russia in a month. By August, it nosedived to $4.1 million, almost the same as the $3 million per month when the war started. What did Turkey do? They straight up changed their customs system. Over 40 types of U.S. origin military goods, all hand-picked by the US, UK, EU, and Japan as part of a 50-item high-priority list, are now blocked with one click. High-end processors, military-grade memory cards, precision machine tools, all cut off. Without them, Russian missiles and drones are just fancy paperweights. Similar goods from the EU have been blocked for a while, but these measures weren't publicly announced due to political sensitivity. Of course, Russia ain't gonna take this lying down. As soon as Turkey cut off supplies, China and India stepped up. In July, China sent a whopping $377 million worth of these goods to Russia. India's exporting nearly $100 million in electronic products per month, all assembled in China, like Apple computers and high-end servers for AI data centers. India knows the US is courting them now, so they're making bank and betting the US won't dare to sanction them. The craziest part? In the last 6 months, Russia's even been using Musk's Starlink. Some Indian middlemen might be involved in this black market chain. Talk about a juicy plot twist. Under threat of US executive orders and secondary sanctions on banks helping the Kremlin's war machine, Turkish banks have drastically reduced business with Russian counterparts this year. They gotta follow the US conductor's baton. At the end of the day, this ain't just about buying and selling, it's a reflection of the great power game. Why does Turkey have to listen to the US? Because homies, remember this, a country's political direction doesn't just depend on public opinion, but on who controls the military. Turkey is a NATO member and their military is in NATO's hands, so they gotta rep NATO. But Turkey ain't entirely obedient. They pulled a sneaky move. Direct exports to Russia are cut, but they can still go through Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan. Slick, right? Fam, the Russia-Ukraine battlefield is changing every day. Turkey flipping sides, North Korean pilots entering the fray, the West throwing punch after punch. Russia's under some serious pressure. Who's going to be the next big player to make a move? How long can China and Russia hold out? How will the global situation flip? Stay tuned, cause we're watching closely. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and catch you all next time.